What is your full name?
My full name is Malika Matniazova.
I'm going to ask you some questions about photos. Do you like taking photographs?
Yes, of course, I like taking photographs because they save memories, and I would like to, in the future, to take some photograph in the my period. I think it's really comfortable and beautiful activity for me. I can try to save memories with family members or relatives in their events, for example, in a birthday parties.
How often do you take photos?
Well, actually, I am an avid self-snapper. I can't doing these photographs in the 2 or 3 times in a day. I can take photo with my families or family members. It's really a beautiful activity for me. I think I can try to make this activity in 2 or 3 minutes and selfie with others.
In which situation do you like taking photos?
Well, actually, in another situation, I can like to taking photos. For example, I like to take photo in the family's birthday parties, and especially birthdays. I like to take part in some kind of difficult taking photos, and I like to save these memories, and I can be photographed in different moments. It can be enjoyable for me and comfortable.
How do you keep your photos?
Well, actually, I keep photo with different ways. For example, I have any technology which keep with my photos, especially photos. I think I have 2 or 3 mobile phones and laptops. This technology keep our memorable photos, and I can send this photo in a who live in abroad, my friends or different people.
Let's speak about music. Do you often listen to music?
Yes, of course. I often listen to music in my free time. I like to listen to music in a different ways. For example, I have doing my homework or housework, and I walking in the street. I like to listen some kind of music, for example, jazz, rock, and different more. I think it's enjoyable for me. It's so wonderful time when I listen this kind of musics.
How much time do you spend listening to music every day?
To tell the truth, I spend listen music in every day 2 or 3 times. It's so enjoyable for me when I listen this kind of music. I give more emotional, and give me more energy when I listen this kind of musics. And musics give our mood, my mood good with some kind of soundtracks, lyrics, and more.
What kinds of music do you like to listen to?
Well, I'm simply adore listen some kind of musics, for example, rock, jazz, classic, and modern. Well, in other ways, I like to listen some kind of up-to-date music. It's so historical, and I can remember in the past singers, and it's so beautiful activity. Listen music.
Have you ever been to a concert before?
Yes, of course. I have ever been in the concert before. I have been in a Johnny's concert in the Tashkent. It was a wonderful time for me and for my family members. When we went to the concert, we show some kind of beautiful activities with some different singers and more emotional actors in the concert.
Let's move to part 2. In this part, you will be given a topic to talk about. You have 1 minute to prepare to talk about the topic. After that, you should talk 1 or 2 minutes about the topic. Describe an interesting conversation you had with someone you did not know. You should say who the person was, where the conversation took place, what you talked about, and explain why the conversation was interesting for you.
Here I'm going to talk about the interesting conversation I had with someone I didn't know. Well, actually, it was a summer holiday when I first we visited with my family members Egypt, and it was a beautiful time for me. And we stayed at home with my family in their beautiful loyalty room, and after that we went to have a breakfast. After this breakfast, we went to the near the beach to relax and enjoy it. When I swimming swimmed, I saw a small kid trying to make a sand house. I decided to help him to make a sand house. I think helping is the most beautiful quality of a human. And after this activity, I asked his about where do you live, or what his name, or about what do you do in your free times. After this conversation, I was wonderful. I was terrible with about their answers. I think it's so beautiful time with these kids. And after this, I saw his parents in near the beach, and I talk about with her about the English lessons. I think in his English lessons there are a lot of more opportunity for him to learn something new and to try develop their activities. And I think he's a smart and wonderful boy. He will be.
I'm going to ask you a few questions about music. What kind of music is popular in your country?
Well, actually, in my country, there are a lot of people like to listen some kind of music. It's so really important to their lives. I think most of people tend to listen jazz or historical musics. It's so beautiful musics in their life.
What do old people like listen to?
Well, actually, I think most of old persons like to listen classical music. It's when they do some kind of activity, for example, grow something plants and doing something activities. It's so important for these people to listen, and I think so. It's so realistic and beautiful.
Do you think it is possible to judge someone's personality from their taste in music?
No, I don't think so. It is not possible to judge someone's personality from their taste in music. Each person have a personality and independently choose their taste, some kind of music. It's so beautiful quality of a human. I think we should support their taste in music, and I think so beautiful.
Let's continue with the questions about people's taste in music. What kind of music do children nowadays like to listen to?
Well, actually, some of teenagers and adults like to listen modern music. For example, nowadays most of singers produce some kind of new and modern musics. It's help to children repeatedly listen these musics and to be happy.
Why do people like listening to music?
Well, actually, I think most of people like listen to music for different ways. For happy people, like this kind of music for their daily routine, for their fastly do something with these musics. And who work hard working. So sometimes these kind of people don't like the listen music in any way. I think so.
Do you think music at present different from music 10 years ago?
Definitely yes. I think music at present different from music 10 years ago. It's really different ways. Nowadays most of singles sing song is different, more modernly sing songs, and I think in the past most of singers similarly sing songs with their partners of in the huge malls.